Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Premier League Punters. And we have not one, but two shows this week, covering obviously the midweek matches and the matches over the weekend as well. Obviously, the midweek matches starting tomorrow, playing tomorrow and Wednesday. I think we've got a game on Thursday as well. Introducing the Team Bankroll here, the Premier League Punters. We got Russ, we got Big Man, and we have Flash. Boys, welcome and exciting stuff. 2 match days. I'm going to start with you here, Flash. How does it affect betting? Obviously, teams are playing twice in 1 week. They've both got the same disadvantage. The teams, obviously, with the bigger team selection will prove better, I believe. But how does it fare? Obviously, back in your days there, were you remembering playing twice in a week?
Yeah, I mean, well, you might as well say 3 times or 4 times in 10 days.
Yeah.
With some of the boys that are into the Europa action and Champions League. Yeah, it just comes down to the proper professionals and also the size of the squad and being able to keep their spine fit, really. I mean, a lot of people were suggesting Liverpool were a bit leggy yesterday. Obviously, they got the 3 points in the end. They got a clean sheet, but a lot of people thinking they're leggy. But I mean, the good thing about having these midweek games are they're at night. And for me personally, I used to love playing at night. For some reason, I never used to get tired playing at night, whereas 3 o'clock kickoffs were completely different.
Does that mean we could expect to see goals? Are the overs as a general something to look forward to?
Yeah, I would say so. And the main reason for that is because of this time of year where there's a bit of a dew on the surface, the ball zips around. Yeah, I would say. I mean, I look at this car. I think it's really, really tough. Some of these games. I mean, geez. I mean, there's probably 4 possible results. Never mind 3. I mean, there is some real difficult games out there.
Yeah, I have to say, though, a couple of really good ones. Russ, obviously, great result for Arsenal. I know you were there watching the match. 4-2, incredible comeback after half-time for Arsenal. They visit Old Trafford this week. Do you have high hopes for your team, obviously, facing a team who drew 2-2 at Southampton?
The records are there to be broken. Arsenal have not won Manchester United in the league since 2006. But look, they're coming off an absolutely monumental win. The whole squad, all the fan base are buoyant after the North London derby win. Look, they've got a chance. And obviously, speaking with Flash earlier, look, Manchester United, again, they're just really in the dumps. And Mourinho just can't get them going. And if Arsenal players have been, I think it's 19 unbeaten now, there's no reason why they can't go there and win.
Yeah, absolutely no reason at all. And Big Man, obviously busy as always. Some good bets came in for you this weekend. Headed into this week, obviously one big one. Burnley will skim past that one. But you bet the likes of Brighton and other ones coming through there. How do you feel about these midweek matches?
I like them. I'm happy with this card, Natalie. I think Flash is being a little bit too negative. He's been doing very well, but maybe he's still negative for some reason. I think this card's great, Flash. What are you so worried about? You've been doing great. We're going to do fine. I'm looking forward to breaking them down. Let's get into it.
Yeah. Talking about great, we've got us 3 are struggling slightly this season. Again, we'll skim, but Flash, on the other hand, is not struggling. In fact, he is breezing through the season. Let's have a look.
Long way to go.
18.2 units of profit. Pretty good. 18.2. 18.2. Yeah, an ROI of 115.
32,
yes,
32
which is good.
Big
Which is good for us. Myself comes in second at -3.7. Big Man -7.3, and our newcomer Russ at 16.6 in the negative.
Oh.
But that's okay.
Long way to go.
It's a long way to go. That's the thing. And you know what? I have to say, I'm feeling very confident about these matches. So I'm excited. Let us get started. 10 games to run through. Big hello to everybody watching as well. We're going to do a live video on Twitter tomorrow morning as well. Just a quick, like an Akabet. I'm going to bring Alex from Need for Tips and be in the morning before the show start. An Akabet for the day's matches and see any last final bets that we might make to play on the game. So stay tuned to that one. All right, Let us start off. Donny right side, need a good ACCA for today. All right, that comes at the end, Donny. Stay tuned. All right, Tuesday 4th, Bournemouth versus Huddersfield. Bournemouth 1.75, draw 3.8, Huddersfield 5.25. You gave me a warning, big man, on this Huddersfield. You thought I was bonkers. Turned out to be true. Have to say, is it a no-brainer here? The Bournemouth win at 1.75. They have the home advantage.
Yeah, I mean, they've only won 2 games all year, Huddersfield. They haven't won on the road yet. Bournemouth have had kind of a tough run of fixtures here. I mean, you look at the last 2 games, you faced Arsenal, Man City. I can't really explain the loss to Newcastle, but again, that was at home for them. They lost to Man United as well. I think this is obviously a game, you look at it at home. Noah Mounier for Huddersfield, which would be a loss to a already pretty bad team who can't score goals. Now you take away Mounier. I like Bournemouth here. This is a great play, in my opinion. I don't really. You look at this game, if you're Bournemouth, you got to get the job done here.
Yeah.
You got to get 3 points if you want to continue to maintain. I think it's a must-win. Clearly, for Bournemouth, every game is a must-win, and for most teams, you want to go in and win every game. But I think you truly look at this game and say, we need to take care of business. 3-1, you 2-0, get that clean sheet.
Yeah.
I like Bournemouth a lot here. 1.75. This is pretty cut and dry for me.
Yeah, same here. Cut and dry. Great way to describe it. And although obviously the home team back-to-back losses, they've had a tough set of fixtures. So I don't think that's reasonable to look at what they've played. Manchester United, Arsenal, Man City, Newcastle at home. I think it's about time they get that home win. Is it cut and dry for you there, Russ?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I think there's going to be goals in here. And obviously, Flash, you mentioned it earlier. The evening fixtures can bring goals. 1.73, obviously, Bournemouth win. Yeah, I totally agree. Big man, I think Bournemouth will get this done. But I'm going for both teams to score at 1.95. I think Huddersfield, obviously, they won at Wolves. They did score at home to Brighton. They had scored 3 at home to Fulham. They are scoring goals. So, again, I don't think Bournemouth defensively are as solid as I'd be comfortable to back in Bournemouth to nil. So, yeah, 1.95. Let's have goals, both teams to score.
All right. Well, Huddersfield, just 1 goal a game on average. But let's hope and see they continue their 1 goal a game average. I do think goals as well. Just looking at some of the bets here, we've got Bournemouth win and over 1.5 goals from Jack L. James Pomeroy, Bournemouth win and over 2.5 goals. You were talking about goals here, Flash. Is this a game that we are going to see goals?
No, I don't know. Honestly, I'm going to pass this game just because I think this could be a 0-0. I think, and also with Mounier, he may well play because they've appealed his red card, and if he's on appeal, then he can play until the sanction comes through. And they're talking about him even getting let off, so he may well play. Not that scares you. Not that scares any defender in the country. It's just a game that I don't like.
His appeal failed.
It has failed, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I knew that they appealed it earlier. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's a pass from me. It's a game. There's other things that I'd rather pick than this game.
Yeah, and you didn't like the Bournemouth win there, 1.75.
No, I just got a funny feeling about the draw.
All right, funny feeling about the draw. Well, listen, you've had some good feelings. That red card call as well was a pretty good one as well. So let's hope for mine and Big Man's sake that this is just a funny feeling and Bournemouth will win. 1.75.
Yeah, exactly, of course. Yeah, with Jimmy Bournemouth on.
Put away the funny feeling. Okay, Brighton versus Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace 2.75, Brighton 3 and draw 3.1. Not much between these two. Brighton at home, though, do have the better record. They've got the slightly longer odds here, which I thought was interesting. They've met twice this year. Both have seen goals. I think goals could be on the fixture here again. Flash, are you playing this one?
No, I'm not, and there's a couple of reasons why I'm not playing. Very solid, Brighton. It's very solid at home. And you go again, and then with Crystal Palace, they equivalent to the NFL. They got into the red zone for over 20 times against Burnley at the weekend, and they had to wait until like the late 80-odd minute to get their second goal. They're just not taking their chances. So I mean, everything points to me maybe another 1-1 draw like we had at Brighton, Leicester, but not enough. There's just not enough. I would go unders. I just couldn't pick it. Honestly, I lean the draw.
Okay, interesting. Value there to obviously play the draw no bet in case people do have a concern of the possible draw. But they played April last season, the FA Cup this season, 3-2, 2-1 with the home side winning on either game there, on each game. So Russ, are you playing this one?
I'm totally agreeing with Flash. I can see all
Really?
three results. I can see goals. I can see no goals. It's too difficult to call. Obviously, Crystal Palace go to Man United, keep a clean sheet. They have, 29 shots against Burnley, keep a clean sheet. Brighton, on the other hand, again, very consistent at home, good away win on the weekend. And obviously at home, they have beaten the likes of Man United this year. So, yeah, it's a no play from me. I can see anything happening in this game.
Interesting stuff. And they do say it should be almost one of our slogans as well. Sometimes no play is the best play. So 2 on the no play. Just reading as well, we've got under 2.5 goals, over 2.5 goals, Brighton to win to 0. It seems like everybody. First half a draw, says Giorgio. Big man, can you shine some light? Are you making this the third pass or do you have a play?
Yeah, I see people saying under 2.5 goals. Look, we don't lay 1.5 on this show. So, again, I think that would be the only logical play, but I'd only want that in some kind of parlay bet. Other than that, yeah, I agree with these guys. I mean, there are plenty of games here. This one is definitely one where you could see each result. I will say this. I don't see Crystal Palace winning, but I think the other two could come in. But I don't know. I need to get a little bit more, right with the wagers that I'm making. Look, if I was in Flash's position, I would surely fire on this game. But I think that's the difference between bankrolls sometimes. If
Yeah.
this was last year, I would definitely take Brighton, frankly. And as many would say, scared money doesn't
Yeah.
make money. The problem is, you need to make sure you're just dealing with a bankroll a little bit different if you're down a few units or something. I have plenty of other tips, so I'll look to those.
Yeah, often as well a good saying. We talk about sort of bankroll management, and so Big Man makes a good point there. I am going to dip my feet in. Brighton draw no bet. Brighton at home. I think that there is a possibility of the draw there, covering myself if there is a draw, but I'm going to lean towards Brighton there. So Brighton draw no bet, odds of 2. West Ham versus Cardiff again, and to me on paper, some of these odds I'm not understanding. Sometimes it's like the bookies want us to bet, other times it doesn't. In this case, they want us to bet. West Ham 1.71, draw 3.9, and Cardiff 5.5. Cardiff are just awful on the road. I think 5 straight losses, 1 mere draw, 0 wins, 1.71 for a West Ham. Again, is this cut and dry, Big Man?
No, I don't think it's cut and dry, but I will say this. You look at the number in this game, like 1.68, 1.65, around that, price where you kind of almost don't have any interest in it. But I think that's the point here. I mean, West Ham have not been impressive, yet they're only laying 1.68 here. I think that's pretty telling. I mean, I think Cardiff are backable at home, but on the road, it just makes it a bit more difficult. I'm actually going to go with West Ham United here. I think they have better players. I think the line's telling you something here. I don't think a lot of punters will look to back West Ham just because the price isn't sexy. It's not sexy to lay 1.68. But I'm going to do it here. I think the price speaks to people, and I think when you have these prices where it's under 1.7, with a team like West Ham, a team that doesn't win that much, it has had a tough season. It's almost you kind of wonder why. I don't think Cardiff are very good. I think West Ham will look at this one as we have to go and get 3 points here. They're at home. I think they'll do it. Give me West Ham 1.68.
Yeah, 1.68. Shop around though, Big Man. I've got 1.71.
I'm looking at odds checker, and that one's not listed. So that's interesting that you have that.
Yeah,
very good.
yeah.
I'll that then.
This morning, I'll look myself here as well. 1.68. No, you're right. It's gone down. It was 1.71 earlier. But what I've done is combine it with the under 4.5 goals. They have obviously recent road losses, but hosting Spurs, Man City. I think it's time that West Ham get a home win here against a very poor Cardiff side. West Ham and the under 4.5 goals. I absolutely love that bet, I have to say. Flash, what have you got for this match?
No, I'm passing, but I do see West Ham win. And as I said the other day with Crystal Palace were like 1.66 or 1.7. When are Crystal Palace ever under 1.7? Same as West Ham. When are West Ham ever 1.7? I think both teams to score and over 2.5 is a lean. I mean, or you could go West Ham to win and both teams to score. I think West Ham are far too strong. The only downside I see in this game is, are Cardiff going to try and sit in? Because when teams go West Ham are decent. There's good athletes and they've got goal scorers and they're a strong outfit. But are they a strong outfit when they've got a force to play? Have they got the players that can break down and the little can opener passes through defence? I'm not so sure, but it's a pass from me.
All right, a pass. And I know that scared money doesn't make money, but cautious money does seem to make money as Flash. So, passing on some of these games that he does not have a play for. How many plays do you do have this weekend, Flash, this week?
6 or 7.
6 or 7, all right. Russ, is it a play or a pass for you?
It's sort of my standard play, to be fair. West Ham to win and under 4.5 goals at 2.0. Again, big man and Flash. I totally agree with everything you've said. Flash, West Ham need to take the game to Cardiff. Can they do it? Have they got the talent to score? Yeah, I think with Anderson and obviously coming off a big 3-0 win at Newcastle, if West Ham turn up under the lights at the London Stadium, yeah, they can get this done. Yeah, there's a slight nervousness that, again, it can be a West Ham that's just an average West Ham and just doesn't get the job done and it's a draw. But I think they can tomorrow night. And yeah, 2.0, I think that's a little bit of value there and under 4.5.
Yeah, with you on that one, Russ. We do have Barcelona West Ham minus 1.5. Oof. But Giorgio Michelangelo says West Ham could win this 4-1. But this also could. I'm to be honest with you, I'm not 100% whether Cardiff can score in this one. Just 2 on the road, but West Ham do have a leaky defence. Where as terms of the both teams to score bet, sort of on the fence there. Watford versus Man City. Man City 1.3, draw 6, and Watford 11. Watford, Flash. Have you learnt your lesson yet?
No.
Going for your Watford win. Watford and Saints are your Achilles' heels, I have to say. You need to avoid both of those teams.
I know. Well, I'm hopefully going to avoid because I've got to go for Man City. Man City are just a different class. I found Man City to win and under 3.5 goals at 2.5. I think that this is a game where they're going to carve them. They're going to keep the ball. They're going to suffocate them, and I can easily see this being maybe a 2-1 or 3-0, So or even a 2-0. I was close to going Man City and under 2.5, but I've just thought I'd have that extra goal. So I've gone with Man City to win and under 3.5 at 2.5.
Wow, okay, taking the unders in this one. Bets, obviously, I know Big Man as well, you've been on this one. Man City in the over 2.5 goals. I have to say, that's where I'm looking at this one, 1.75. How are you playing it, Big Man?
Yeah, I'm just going to go Man City minus 1.5 at 1.9. Man City's won 5 of their last 6 in the Premier League by 2 or more goals. Watford suck. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know how they're still in 10. I mean, it seems like they lose every week. Maybe I'm just overreacting. But yeah, I think City shouldn't have any problem. I'll look 3-0 here. I think it's 3-0.
Yeah, James Pomeroy says City are going to destroy them. They are quality at any moment. 4-0 Man City win. And then somebody says Craig McFenk, this show is very cheeky. I don't know what that means. Interesting.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
No idea.
I'm guessing in a nice way. I'm guessing how I'm going to read it.
What does cheeky mean?
All right. So we've got Man City in the under 3.5 goals. Well, I'll tell you who is cheeky is our Flash there. So Man City in the under 3.5 goals. Russ with the cheeky smile. What are you going for?
We're going to go 2.3 Manchester City to win to 0. So yeah, partly agreeing with Flash. I don't see too many goals, but I see Man City totally dominating and just going through the gears. They probably may need to hit second gear to get the job done here. And agreeing with Big Man again, Watford. Yeah, I just think they're on a bad run now. Obviously, not scoring against Leicester, and Leicester have got a woeful defence. So yeah, I think City will get the job done. They'll cruise, and yeah, please God, they keep it to nil. So yeah, 2.3 City to win to nil.
Yeah. Well, it's not a bad bet, to be honest with you. Watford have failed to score in 3 of their last 6 games. They're all 5 games, I think it is. Yeah, it's against Man City, one of the toughest defences. They are at home though, but all right, go for that. Man City win to nil. Burnley versus Liverpool now. Liverpool 1.29, draw 6, and Burnley 13 odds with 10 bet. Liverpool beating rivals just 1-0 over the weekend, but a win is a win. Obviously, Burnley adding to their losing streak now 2-0, almost looking like they could be relegation candidates. They're down in 19th. Is there a possibility, Flash, that Burnley could be relegated?
Every chance. I called it the other day. I watched them intensely. I watched them so closely. They're playing. Not all the boys are rowing in the same direction. They look leggy. They've got no pace. And the only one that has got pace in their side is Lennon on the right. And he gets the ball and just goes backwards. He just gives it to somebody else. He's like, oh, yeah, no, you have it. I don't want it. They don't take responsibility. So what they do is they get it out their feet at the back and they just launch it up front. Well, teams know that that's coming. Well, you do that against Liverpool, and they will absolutely send you to the cleaners. And for me, I can only say I've got like maybe 2 or 3 different bets here. I've gone Liverpool and over 2.5 at 1.9, and that's going to be my official play. But I also think that I was going to go 3-0 Liverpool.
Yeah.
Not even win to nil, just 3-0.
Yeah.
And then that's the bankroll. So I think it's like 16-1.
So what's your official play then for your record? The 3-0 score?
Liverpool and over 2.5 at 1.9.
Yeah. It's Russ, what's gone wrong for Burnley this season?
Look, the Europa League was tough for them to really start early back in July, and yeah, look, they've just not really got going this year. I think is it Flash Alfie Mawson they lost to they lost to Fulham, or they lost a centre back in the summer that obviously.
Yeah, Johansson.
Johansson. Yeah. They lost a big centre back that was part of their unit last year when they were very, very strong. And I was listening to Radio 5 Live the other day, and they were saying that even last year when Burnley were winning 1-0 or 2-0, they were scoring a very, very high percentage amount of shots. They're only hitting an average of 4 or 5 shots per game, but we're scoring like 50 to 75% of them. This year, they're getting found out massively. And obviously, once they started the season so poorly, they've just not managed to turn it around. And even sort of Sean Dyche, some of his press conferences, I think sort of he's living in sort of cloud cuckoo land at the minute. They really need to go back to basics and see if they can have some, start from what they've been good at, having some good clean sheets. But in this game, 2.0, Liverpool to win to nil. I can't see Burnley scoring. I think Liverpool will struggle to get going. Flash, I know you've got Liverpool on over 2.5. I can see this being a 1-0 or 2-0 to Liverpool. I just think from what we started off in the show, Liverpool, they are running out of gas. And if Burnley defend deep, I think Liverpool may only get 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So again, 2.0, win to nil, the official play.
Yeah.
No, the reason I went for mine is because Crystal Palace had 29 shots on their goal. Crystal Palace haven't got anywhere near the firepower that Liverpool have got. I mean, you could have Shaqiri to score at any time. You could have like 3 different players, and 2 of the 3 will probably score. So I've just gone for it because of Palace having 29 shots on their goal.
Yeah. I have to say, again, what did I say? Liverpool looked dodgy against Everton, says James Pomeroy, which is true. Big man.
Everton are a good team.
Pardon?
Everton are a good team now. Everton's a good team. At home, they're fantastic. And again, it's a derby, so if sort of form goes out the window, they play well.
Absolutely. But I'm sort of along the lines of you, Russ, and I think this is Liverpool in the under 3.5 goals. I quite like 2.1. Big man, how do you think sort of Liverpool will come to Burnley? What Liverpool will show up? Are we going to see sort of the firepower, or do you think Burnley, Turf Moor can be a tough place to visit?
Yeah, I think we got to pump the brakes a little bit. I mean, Liverpool have they haven't showed up. They're second in the league, and they have 36 points. I think we need to stop and remember that Liverpool are not going to be and win 4 and 5-0 every week. They still won yesterday, albeit Everton are a good side. They're 6th in the league. Who knows where they'll end up? This is a much different team. Burnley's have had major issues. And Natalie, you made that clear at the beginning. This team might get relegated. That's how bad they've been. You look at the last 6 games for Burnley. They've been outscored 17-3 in 6 games. They faced Chelsea and Man City back-to-back, lost 9-0 combined. Liverpool should win handily. The only reason I didn't lay the Liverpool under 4.5 or 3.5 is because I think Liverpool could score 4 or 5 here. Burnley are shocking. They're bad. This is not the team that they were last year. And you look at Liverpool, they've only given up 5 goals in the season. It's not going to be, can Burnley score? Can they even maintain 25% possession here? Liverpool win to 0. I agree with Russ, your share. Give me that one.
All right, Liverpool win to 0. I'm, like I said, leaning towards Liverpool in the under 3.5 goals, 2.1, but I think officially a no play for me. My first no, I think it's my first and only no play. Everton versus Newcastle. Now Everton home are the favourites, 1.62, 10 bet draw for Newcastle, 7, 6th and 15th, both ending their 4 no loss runs last weekend. Liverpool ending then, Liverpool, Everton to Liverpool 1-0, Newcastle hosting West Ham for 3-0. Everton obviously clear favourites in this match. Big man, would you take Everton at the price of 1.62 or combine it with something?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and combine it with something here. Newcastle, I think, are pretty poor on the road. I don't have much interest in that group anywhere but St. James Park. Everton have been very solid. I like their defense since they've added Mina. Going forward, I think they're terrific for the most part. Give me Everton and under 4.5, 1.85. I think this would be 2-0. But if it's 3-0, I'll be safe here. Give me Everton and under 4.5 at 1.85.
Yeah. Jack L jumping on that one. Everton in the under 4.5 goals. That's mine. 1.85. Russ, one you like to whip out the bag? Is it being whipped out again at this show?
I think you've seen my thumbs up. Yeah, totally agree. Everton will bounce back. This was obviously a last minute defeat, and credit to Jordan Pickford. Came in front of the cameras, apologised to the fans, said he's got a really strong mental attitude. He'll play on Wednesday, and he won't let that affect him. I think that's go on, mate.
It's sad that he has to actually come out and apologize for that, frankly. He's the best goalkeeper in that country. He did wonders in the World Cup. Shame on fans for nagging him the way they have. People make mistakes. This wasn't Lars Karius multiple times. This isn't Joe Hart. This is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Shame on them for that. I'm interested to hear what Flash would say about that. Flash, you would agree. It's one mistake. I mean, the guy's a terrific goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's just him being humble. I mean, no one asked him to make that apology. It's just him coming out and making sure that people are aware that he doesn't like making mistakes. And when he does, he's happy to stick his hands up. There's plenty of people who do make mistakes and they point the fingers at others. And they're the dodgy ones.
Yeah.
Just
totally agree. Diversifying. But yeah, the official play, same as yours. Everton to win. 1.85 and under 4.5 goals. Yeah, 3-0, 3-1. Yeah, Everton will get the job done here. Easy.
Yeah. Well, if you like to follow trend here, Everton have won their 4 last head-to-heads, home and away, 3 of them to 1-0. Are you a trend better, Flash?
No, I'm going with the Merseyside hang up here. I've got the draw at 3.75. I think that Rafa Benitez, how defensive he is and negative. You know that Everton last week, obviously, they did well yesterday. I was impressed with them. And I think, again, if it was anybody else other than Newcastle, I'd be all over Everton. I was impressed with some of their players. I thought they showed great spirit. But I think that's going to take a bit out of them. Week before, they scrambled 78th minute to beat Cardiff 1-0. For me, I think the value is the draw. And I expect this to be a draw for long periods. So Everton at Everton and the draw, 3.75.
Yeah. Okay, interesting as well. And that's sort of been your rule this season, going for the value or knowing when to pass. Fulham versus Leicester. Leicester 2.4, Fulham 3.1, and draw 3.5. I was initially going to skip this game, but I think we've got goals on the cards. And I think more so Leicester being so unpredictable. And obviously, Flash, we spoke, I think it was even last show, and you we were talking about, why this season has been really difficult to bet. And one of them has been that the teams have been very unpredictable. Are you playing this game or are you passing?
I'm playing it 100%. I'm playing it because there's a few factors. First of all, Ranieri. I was quite impressed with the way they set up yesterday. I know that Chelsea were comfortable, but I saw an energy. I saw a unit. I saw a game plan where everyone sort of did buy into it against a Leicester side. That if anyone's going to know how to get this Leicester side beat, it's going to be Ranieri. I mean, in fact, they've actually gone backwards from when he had them. They can't keep clean sheets. Yeah. I think Fulham 3.1 is where I'd want to be. So I'm going with Fulham to win.
Yeah. Now, you're saying can't keep clean sheets. It's low, 1.62 for the straight both teams to score bet. Would that be a nice little sort of ACCA bump or something to combine 1.62 for both teams to score?
Well, when I looked at the card and I looked down first, and then I pressed the button to go around the back and see where the best value is. Fulham to beat Leicester jumped out at me. It jumped out at me. So I'm not going to complicate it, like I said last week.
All right. Fulham win here at home. Russ, what's on your card for this match?
It's a no play for me. I think both teams to score. I think it's 1.62 or 1.69. That's obviously that's too short to put up. I think there will be goals. The lean, I'm not sure what it is. I'm sure it's probably about 1.9 or even 2.0. Mitrovic to score any time would be the lean. I can see any of the three results happening, which if you go back to Ranieri's first game against Southampton, again, any three could have happened. Southampton should probably have won that. Obviously, Fulham came back from, I think, 1-0 down to win 3-2. So, yeah, any of the three can happen. It's a no play.
Okay, so no play. Big man, have you got a play for this game?
Yeah, I think Flash is getting way too cute here. I get what he's doing with his bankroll, but I mean, Flash, I'm not sure if that should overlook your ability to understand things. What do you mean they can't keep clean sheets? They've kept 4 out of 5 clean sheets, Flash, Leicester have, and they've went under in 6 straight matches. So I'm not really sure what you're talking about, that they don't keep clean sheets. They've been terrific.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, I disagree. I disagree that they've been terrific. I mean, they've got away with murder, big man. They've got away with absolute murder.
Yeah, but I mean, Flash, we have to again stop with our outside dislikes of clubs. I mean, you have to look at the proof in the pudding here. Fulham are not a good side. They might be the worst side in this league, frankly. And talk about a team that can't keep clean sheets, Flash. What are you looking at? Fulham can't keep clean sheets. How dare you take Fulham? I don't understand this decision by you.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Leicester and under 4.5, Flash.
Wow.
At 2.9. What the hell is that?
I didn't think you was going to be arguing with me, and at the end go, yeah. By the way, I'm going Fulham.
No, I said Leicester and under 4.5. Leicester.
I know exactly. Well, I wasn't expecting you to say Fulham.
Yeah. I'm having a little fun with you, Flash. But again, you got to start to give this Leicester team a little bit of credit. Defensively, they have really improved, and they're getting there. Flash still thinks this team is. I mean, Flash. They have. What was I saying? They gave up more than 2 goals. It was once against Arsenal, and everyone gives up goals to Arsenal. I mean, give them respect, Flash.
There you go. Being schooled by Big Man. These two are actually chums behind cameras, but now and again, Big Man just likes to, tell Flash how it is. I think we can see 25 goals between these two teams scored. So Fulham at home, Leicester away combined. You've got 19 goals scored, 25 conceded. I think it's going to be the classic. I think we're going to see both teams to score over 2.5 goals, not playing either. This could be a 2-2 draw in my mind. Classic, Alex Classic. Both teams have scored over 2.5 goals at 2.1. Leicester, for me, I have to say, have been a team that have let me down when I've played them. Sort of like Flash's Watford and Southampton. Leicester have been one of mine. So pass for me on the outright for sure. Wolves
Great pick,
versus
Nat.
Chelsea.
Hey, Nat.
Yes.
Yeah, one other point here. Also, to not pile on, but Fulham have, in the last 6 games, 5 of them they've been clean sheeted in. So again, this team is just bad. They don't play good defense, and they don't score goals. A bad tonic in this league.
Yeah.
New manager
Says,
and a
yep.
completely different setup to Jokanovic. Completely different setup. Again, yesterday they showed energy. They showed an organisation. And under Ranieri, the one thing that he always does, he has them aware. Yeah, they lost 2-0 to a Chelsea side that are sitting 4th in the league.
Right, but I mean, they only 34% possession. I guess I'm just on a different side of the table here. I don't know. I don't see it. But
yeah, that's
hey,
all right.
Flash,
You're entitled.
Your record speaks for itself. You've done a nice job, and I'm sure this year Fulham will turn up. But I don't know. I think Leicester's improved too.
Well, if we look
that's probably where I'm going. I'm going with this. I'm going with Fulham because I don't rate Leicester, and I think the Fulham at 3.1 at home with a new manager and a new system is the job. If you ask me if I think they're going to be in the bottom 4 or 5, I would say yes.
There we go. Difference of opinions, different side of the fence. And I guess we're going to find out on Wednesday who wins the Fulham-Leicester battle here. But if we look at the comments here, most are siding with Big Man here and agreeing that Fulham is not a team to be backing. But listen, someone could have the last laugh. That is the great thing of unscripted football. Wolves versus Chelsea now playing on Wednesday. Chelsea 1.8, draw 3.7 and Wolves 5.2. Wolves have been a team that have let us down. They've been unpredictable. Again, why is Chelsea priced at this 1.8? Is it a dangling carrot? Should we avoid it or should we jump head first into it? So let's go to the cautionary better Flash. Chelsea at 1.8.
Yeah. Absolutely, you should, and you can combine it as much as you like. I'm going Chelsea and over 2.5 at 2.75. I just think that Chelsea are far too good individually. I noticed the Wolves against Huddersfield when they let us down, and then the reason that they were so bad, they were 1-0 up at Cardiff and didn't even break sweat. And that's why they got beat 2-1. And they got beat because they've got no fight or urgency about them. So for me, Chelsea and over 2.5 at 2.75.
Yeah.
I can't believe how good a price that is.
Yeah, it's a dangling carrot, I tell you, like that Manchester United last week. Dangling carrot.
Man United and Chelsea are 2 different animals.
Well, exactly. Yes, they are. But Jack L making a point here saying that Wolves turn up against bigger teams. Obviously, against little teams, they let their side down. But they've got the home advantage, and maybe that is why the price. But yeah, you can't avoid. You know, they've got one of the best defenses in the league here, 3rd best defense. 11 conceded over 14 games. Pretty remarkable. Big Man, are you on the Chelsea train?
Yeah, I'll take Chelsea 1.8 straight win. Wolves haven't won a game since October 6th, so it's been almost 2 months since they've been on the winning side. Chelsea should have enough here. Defensively, they're very solid. You love Hazard up front. Wolves have played pretty well in these kind of games, and this year they've seemed like the draw kings in some of these big ones. But I think Chelsea will be too much. I'll say 2-1 Blues here. Give me Chelsea 1.8.
Wow, 2-1. So I bet Chelsea and both teams to score as well has got some decent odds on that one. But hard sometimes to bet against such a good defence there. Russ, you like to play the both teams to score, yes or no? Bet. Do you think Wolves can score here at home?
Yeah, I think they can. And it's a game I'm going to be at, actually. I'm going to be at Molineux on Wednesday night. Look, the Wolves fans will get right behind the team. They won't stop shouting and cheering. But yeah, look, they've not won in 7. And yeah, Connor Cody, the captain's come out and said, yeah, look, there are issues here. We do need to address them. And obviously, as Flash said, look, against Huddersfield, they just thought they'd turn up and win. Huddersfield put in a strong performance. Cardiff as well. Cardiff knew what to do. They knew they needed to dig in, and they did dig in, and they won. So I think Wolves can be competitive in this one. But I think ultimately Chelsea's class will tell after the 90 minutes. The official play is Chelsea to win an under 4.5 goals at 2.1. I think there can be goals here. I think Wolves can score, but I don't think it'll be enough to stop the Chelsea train. So
yeah,
that's my pick.
Yeah, all right, full house, straight Chelsea win there. I'm on 1.8. I have to say, Russ, you spend a lot of times in stadiums either watching sports or the likes of Shania Twain. Interesting life you lead.
I just love, I love live
Find him at
entertainment.
a
Obviously, live
stadium.
football's great.
Cool. All right, the big game of the week. Manchester United versus Arsenal. Manchester United 2.45, Arsenal 3, draw 3.6. I tell you a bet, when either of these teams play is often both teams to score. I think it's a good acca filler here, 1.57. But the state that Manchester United's in, I'm guessing you are going to be at this game. Are you at this game as well, Russ?
No, it's the same night. I wish I can't be at two places at once. Otherwise, I would be there.
So you picked your poison.
Come on, get with the program, that.
So I thought it was on Tuesday. I am with the program. I've had a long weekend, I have to say. Lily was ill, and I'm running on very little sleep. If you can't tell, but I am always with the program Flash. All right. So Arsenal priced at 3 after a stellar win playing Spurs here. Are you taking them head on there, Russ? Arsenal at odds of 3.
I think I said at the beginning of the show, Arsenal have not won at Old Trafford since 2006. Can Jose Mourinho get that squad to come and put in a performance? I think they can. It's Arsenal. It's a big game. Look, for me, the double chance, it's 1.62. Arsenal won the draw. Arsenal will make change. I think Jack is suspended. And I would think he probably will start Ramsey and Lacazette, who pretty much changed the game at half time. Yeah, go on then, Arsenal, let's go for it. Let's do it. It's taken 12 years, but go on, Arsenal to win. Compound more misery on Mourinho. It's not out of the question. Unbeaten in 19. They've drawn at home to Liverpool, and they're a much better team than when they lost the first 2 games of the season at home to City and away at Chelsea. So yeah, look, we're on the momentum. The players are buoyant. And again, if they start quickly, they can get ahead.
Yeah.
Again, the final point is you look at Spurs. Spurs won 3-0 there, and although they came under the cosh at 1-0 and then got 2 late goals, which probably again didn't make it as well as it should have done. But yeah, Spurs won there. I think Arsenal can do it. Why not? Let's go for it.
Yeah, draw no bet though is also an option there for the cautionary better. 2.1. You can get Arsenal draw no bet. Although I'm sure a double chance there would be more enticing. But the price there better at the 2.1 if you want to play that. Looking at some of the comments here, we do have Jack L likes Arsenal draw no bet. James Pomeroy, Arsenal draw no bet. Leaning Arsenal, says Eddie Euler. And then Giorgio Michelangelo, Manchester United on the money line, about the only one standing on that Manchester United win. All right, big man, what is your bet here?
Yeah, the one problem I'm seeing with a lot of people in sports betting, and sometimes I have an issue with it. We worry too much about what happened last week. Again, it's not last week. Last week I was sick. I'm not this week. I mean, it's a few months ago it was hot. It's not anymore. I mean, it doesn't really matter much what went on in the past. We're talking about now, and the truth of the matter is, if you look at in this game, you got to wonder where Arsenal's head's at. They're off of a momentous win. Okay, they're coming into this game. They have to travel up to United. I mean, let's be real, guys. This is one of the biggest wins in a long time during the league season for Arsenal. It's a new day there, a new manager. Look how their fans acted yesterday. Their fans acted like they won the Premier League title. They're shooting off flares. And I hate to say this because Russ and Martin Green and some of the people on Arsenal fans, they're great. They're great fans. Okay, but they're one of the biggest fraud fan bases in the world. They don't turn up ever, except the one big game, and now all of a sudden they love Arsenal. That ground was sold out. That's how it should be every week, not one game every 300 days. That's a tough thing to do, go up and play in a game like this. Their defense still is poor. Let's be honest with ourselves. But they can score goals. I think United can find one as well. I'm going to go both teams to score in over 2.5. I almost do agree with Migliaccio as well. I think for me, in a game like this, off a big win, this is a letdown game. United's not playing well. There's a lot going on there. Maybe Arsenal go in there with too big of a head, maybe. Mustafi, all those guys still can't defend. Wouldn't surprise me if this is a 2-2 draw, frankly. But I'm going to go both teams to score over 2.5 in this one. I think we see some goals.
Yeah, I think we see goals here as well. There is a saying, though, you're only good as your last game. And sometimes if you are ill or if you have coming after a great win, it does propel you into your next leg game. So I agree and disagree, big man, with that one. I think your last game can help, but Flash, who does have actual experience with this, do you agree with what big man said, or really it can change?
The last place I'd want to be going after a London derby like that is Man United away midweek. But then I'm talking about a Man United that was probably the best Man United in the last 40 years, where you got nothing home or away anyway. Listen, I've got to leave this game alone because I think that Man United have got to turn up sooner or later. I would not go anywhere near the Arsenal win here. I think that Man United will. It's just different between these sides. They're not geographically close, but they don't like each other, and they've got to deliver. They've got to. And I think big man's on the money. I think any of us, if we were going to have a bet in this game, don't pick the winner. Both teams to score an over 2.5. But because Man United are involved, I've got to leave it alone.
Yeah. And a very unpredictable team here. Yeah, both teams scored over 2.5 goals for me. Russ, there's time still to retract that bet. Were you betting with your heart or your head?
No, I'm keeping it in. I'm locking it in.
And you don't want to do the draw. You don't want to do the draw no bet option.
No, let's go for it. Let's
see if we can do
it. I said
it's. Take a point.
Absolutely, we would. Absolutely. But I think the momentum's there. And again, It's not under Wenger, it's under Emery. And it's 19 games unbeaten. There is so much confidence there. He will make a couple of changes. But they can go and win there.
They can. Let's see if they will. Tottenham versus Southampton, our final game here that we're covering. Tottenham 1.4, draw 5.25, Saints 9.5. Obviously, Tottenham losing to their rivals, ending their no-loss run to the hands of their rivals. And I can imagine they're going to bounce back in this game. They're at home. Start us off here. Flash, do you have a play for this game?
Yeah, 100% I have a play for this game. I'm Spurs -1 even money at 2. I think Spurs win this game comfortably. A few of the players who played for Saints the other night against Man United, that was probably their first or second decent game in about 9-10 months. And why? Because it was on the telly. And why? Because it was against a big club. Some of them players have been absolutely rubbish for 10 months, and all of a sudden they run around because it's on the telly. They don't want to be embarrassed. So for me, listen, Tottenham will carve them open. They can't defend. The defending by Southampton the other night when they were 2-0 up, I would lose them in a telephone box. They get wrong side. They get drawn to the ball. They ball watch. For me, Spurs maybe score 3 or 4 here, but I'm just going to take Spurs -1 at 2.
Yeah, and Flash, the only one using the European handicaps, that translates to -1.5 on the Asian handicap. So there you go. Yes, certainly Spurs as well. Another ACCA filler if Donny is still watching, but we'll run through some ACCAs in a minute. What have you got for this match, big man?
I agree 100% with Flash, and I mean this with the utmost respect. I don't think if Southampton were in the championship, I don't think they'd be in the top 5. I mean that. They are a bad side. They're really poor. There's nothing. Look at that lineup they put out against United. I mean, Christ. If I'm United, I'm just shocked and disgusted that they actually couldn't beat that side. That's amazing. Yeah, I agree. I think Tottenham will be, I don't know, pretty pissed off, I think. At the end of the day, going forward, they're very good. As Flash said, Southampton just a joke defensively. I'm going to lay the goal and a half here, -1.5 at 2.05. I think at worst this is 2-0. This could be the most crooked scoreline of the day, though. Southampton against big sides have gotten, like many bad teams, just work. So yeah, I'll go Tottenham 3-0. I think they win 3-0.
Okay, so 2 on that -1.5. Russ, have you got what have you got to add here?
Spurs to win and under 4.5 at 1.73. I know it's not a massively attractive price, but yeah, I think Spurs will bounce back. It may take them a bit of time to get going. Obviously, again, Spurs at Wembley last time out, thrashed Chelsea 3-1. They were absolutely superb. But then again, for the following week, they lost to Arsenal. So I think Spurs will get the job done. Obviously, Southampton players will need to start impressing the new coach immediately. Otherwise, they could be off in January. But yeah, Spurs will get the job done. I think they can take time to get going. So I'll take the under 4.5 as well.
Yeah, that was one of the bets I was looking as well, Spurs and under 4.5 goals. I'm just going to go Spurs half-time, full-time odds of 2 here. I was also looking at Spurs and the over 2.5 goals odds of 2. Another ACCA option as well is Spurs and the over 1.5 goals, 1.57. All right, so that brings us to run down our...
Nat, can I just say?
Yes.
I seriously believe that there could be 5 goals in this game. And I'm only saying that because was it not 4 or 5-2 last year there? Also, I'm expecting Lamella to come in, Mora to come in, the pace, skill, Rose to come in, Winks to come in. I'm expecting maybe six changes of boys that are absolutely fresh. And after that, they can't afford 2 defeats on the trot. I think that they will absolutely torture this Saints side.
Oof. All right, I'm just looking. So what do you think? It's going to be over 5 goals. So we're looking
or over 4.5.
Over 4.5 goals there at odds of 5.25. There you go. All right, let's start off. Russ, can you run down your official plays? Think about that Arsenal one as you get to it. What are you adding? For your plays for Tuesdays and Wednesdays matches?
Bournemouth, Huddersfield, we're going both teams to score at 1.95. Brighton Palace, no play. West Ham, Cardiff, West Ham and under 4.5. Watford, Man City is Man City to win to 0. Burnley, Liverpool to win to 0. Everton, Newcastle, Everton and under 4.5. Fulham, Leicester, no play. Wolves, Chelsea to win and under 4.5. Arsenal to win at Manchester United and Spurs, Southampton. I think it's the 3rd or 4th one I've done, but Spurs to win and under 4.5. The banker, we will go with Liverpool to win to 0. And the parlay will be 2 teams to win and under 4.5. We'll go with Everton and let's go with West Ham as well.
Nice. All right, there we go. Flash, over to you.
Yeah. Okay, Liverpool to win and over 2.5 at 1.9. Spurs -1 at 2. Fulham to win at 3.1. Chelsea and over 2.5 at 2.75. Everton and Newcastle draw at 3.75. And Man City to win and under 3.5 at 2.5. My banker is Spurs -1 at 2. And my parlay is Chelsea and over 2.5 at 2.75 and Man City and under 3.5 at 2.5.
Okay. Big man, what have you got for us?
Bournemouth to beat Huddersfield, West Ham to beat Cardiff, 1.71, City -1.5, 1.9, Liverpool -1.5, 1.75, Everton and under 4.5, Leicester and under 4.5, Chelsea 1.8, both teams are scoring over 2.5, 1.85, Arsenal United, Spurs -1.5, 2.05. And that on that Leicester and under 4.5, I got 2.9 on that, by the way. My banker is Bournemouth to beat Huddersfield, and my Acker bet is Everton and under 4.5 and City -1.5.
Love it. Okay, Bournemouth win for me. Brighton for 1.75. Brighton draw no bet 2. West Ham and the under 4.5 goals odds of 2. I'm making that my banker. Man City in the over 2.5 goals, 1.75. No play on the Burnley Liverpool, although leaning towards Liverpool in the under 3.5 goals. Everton and the under 4.5 goals at 1.85. Both teams are scoring over 2.5 goals. Fulham, Leicester. Straight Chelsea win at 1.8. And both teams scoring over 2.5 goals. Manchester United versus Arsenal. Spurs half-time, full-time odds of 2. With my Acker bet being Spurs, Chelsea and Man City, 3-team parlay for that one. I like. Tomorrow morning, live on Twitter, we'll be going through some final bets for the Tuesday matches. We'll do the same on Wednesday. Wednesday, there is no Premier League Punters show because it will be Thursday as the matches will be playing. So it'll be 2 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday. But we will have, am I right, big man, the Football League show?
Yeah.
Good. So stay tuned for the Football League show there, discussing the lower leagues and with Big Man and Flash. It is one to watch. Big thank you, Russ, Flash, Big Man, and to everybody watching. Best of luck with your bets. Bet responsibly. And I'll see you again on Thursday.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See you guys.
Cheers, Big Man.